if I can find my cursor.
Welcome to the DIVALUTION, a show to empower, enlighten, and entertain divas and those that love us.
Selves, I had a couple things conk out on me. Sorry about that. So we had a catastrophe here. We had our motherboard explode. So we're slowly recuperating from that. Slowly, I want to emphasize. So, you know, today it has been a beautiful day. I think this summer has been really nice so far. I love these cool nights.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm going to introduce our guests to you tonight. My special guest is filling two shoes this evening. She's filling the shoe of the guest, and she's also filling the shoe of the sponsor spotlight.
So the right and the left shoe.
That's right. So Zulienka Thomlinson, welcome. That's the High Vibe Life Zulienka that I'm talking about right now. You own a business in Saginaw. And what do you do in that? But we'll talk about it longer later, but just basically, what do you do there?
Basically, it's health and wellness classes.
Very good. And I want to know all about how you got there. And I think our listeners need, I almost said our readers.
Oh, interesting.
That might be a foreshadowing. And Zulienka also hosts a show on the network. It's our newest show. And it's called Love Your Transformation. And it's on the second and fourth Thursday of every month at noon.
Yes.
And you just do your first show, which we had a little mishap, but your first show was better than people that have been doing shows for years.
Thank you.
And I'm serious. I don't just say that to anybody.
Okay.
Do I, Sandy?
No, she doesn't.
So, thank you for being on, and I think I'm real excited because the listeners are going to benefit from you substantially. I just think it's really cool. Okay. So anyway, she's our guest this evening. We're drinking a lovely California Crush by Tyler Florence. It's a Sauvignon Blanc, 2012. How do you like that wine, Juliana?
Oh, it's very nice.
Juliana hasn't been around much because she's been in school, but she's here tonight. So,
God, yes.
So, and then we always wish a happy birthday to. Does anybody have any birthdays coming up?
No, mine's gone.
When was yours?
Father's Day, if you can believe it.
Oh, man. The 18th?
Yes.
I don't know how I could forget that. Errol's is the 16th. Mikey's is the 1st. But tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow, is Avery's.
Oh, Avery. Oh,
yes.
I have a name Avery.
So we'll see.
Nice name.
Yes.
This is a child who has yet to be born.
Yes.
She's on her way here shortly.
That's right.
Wow.
I'm surprised she's still in there, but you know how those babies are.
Yeah, it's warm and nice, and she doesn't want to get out.
Well, they come when they're ready.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
Tell her the rent is due and she's got to go.
I think Mike and Christine have been telling her that because they're way ready for her to be born. So I thought tonight a good thing for us to talk about would be success.
Oh, good
Very
choice.
nice.
Thank you. So the first thing I'm going to do is have you, Zulienka, tell us about what you do, why you do it, and what led you to W4 Divas and to have a show.
What a nice story.
Yeah, it is. I love this story.
Okay. We'll start out with what I do and why I do it. Back in 2010, I started teaching raw food classes. And raw food classes meaning I teach people how to combine, chop, prepare food without cooking it. You don't heat it over 120 degrees. However, you blend it, you chop it, it's delicious, easy. My claim to fame is 15 minutes or less recipes. And the reason why I do this is because about 11 years ago, I was a very miserable and chronically ill person. I suffered from debilitating degenerative diseases, chronic asthma, high blood pressure, anxiety, and depression, to name a few. I took 9 pharmaceutical drugs to manage my ailments to keep me alive. I had my first asthma attack at the age of 3. And even though I was living, now I consider it, I was existing, not truly living. So I started crying out to the universe, God, goddesses, all there is, for help in seeking alternative ways to heal myself, truly heal myself, because the medicines did keep me alive. However, they did not cure me. They just covered up or minimized my symptoms. So when I started asking the universe for help, you seek and you shall find, it was answered. I found raw food. I found it online from a woman in the UK. Her name is Karen Noller. She is the reason that I started on that journey. And she taught me raw food. I became a raw food teacher. I became a healthy, normal weight, balanced person. I removed myself from all of my drugs due to my background in chemistry and medical technology. I knew what each medication I was taking was doing. However, up until this time, I just didn't think I had a choice. And that led me to looking for classes to take in my area. I'm born and raised in Saginaw. I couldn't find a class where anyone was teaching this. I learned online, but I wanted to do it in person as well. Nowhere. Bay City, Saginaw, Midland, Flint. This was 11 years ago, but no one knew what I was talking about, let alone were they teaching it. So I'm real spiritual and prayerful, and I meditate. And God whispered to me and said, well, you're going to teach the classes. And at this time, I was working full-time in corporate America, doing customer service. I had no intention of teaching. However, I did my first class in 2010, and I felt like I had been doing it my whole life. So I stepped into it. It was beautiful. The synchronicities that led me to it was I had to be that ill and that to find it. That's how it goes sometimes. And it's interesting that Deb's talking about success today, because that's a really loaded, thing when you think about success and what it takes to get you there and what it means. So back to the story. After I started teaching in the community, I taught in schools, businesses. I had one-on-one clients. I just decided that this is what I want to do. This is why I'm here. This is what I should be doing. This is what fulfills me. It gives me purpose to my life. So I believe in synchronicities hugely. And I have learned to look for the signs, the people, the places, the things that come into your life to show you which way to go. What's next? You really only have to see a couple feet ahead of you at one time. You know, that saying, the headlights only shine so far. It's true. You don't have to have your whole life figured out. Just what is the next step? My next steps were I didn't want to be in business by myself. So I asked the universe again, since it had worked out so well, for a partner. And my partner is Nicole, that we do the business together. She became my one-on-one client first. I met her at yoga. I taught her raw food. She was also looking to change her life. She became a certified health coach. And we partnered up and created the High Vibe Life. So that's what I do and why we do it. And our mission is just to be part of, as a witness, other people's transformation, and to be a guide, a support to them along their journey. That brings me to how I met Deb.
This is a good story.
It really is. Okay. So let's travel back in the time machine a little bit. When I was teaching those raw food classes on my own, there's a woman called Stacy that is part of Devolution and comes here. I taught a class, and her mother attended the class. She referred me to Stacy to help her and her son with some things, nutritional things, things that they were looking for in wellness and health and wellness. And Stacy told me, she said, I know this woman named Deb for the Devolution that you've got to meet. And I hadn't known anything about Deb at this time, but I'm always curious, always open, always willing to see what's next. Like I just talked about those next steps. And she said, well, yeah, she has this network of women in Bay City, a radio show. I said, a radio show? Well, I love to public speak. It is, I feel, one of my talents. So I'm always eager to get in front of anybody who will listen to me and let me talk. So I do it willingly and with an open mind, open heart, and I have no hesitation. So I was very interested. So she gave me Deb's contact information. We exchanged meeting times, attempts, 3 times, me and Deb. We kept attempting to get together, but it just never happened, which, you know, if something doesn't happen, it's just not time. So in the meantime, some months went by. It still stayed on my mind, but then this is how everything comes full circle. It's really beautiful. We had a client that came to our Healthy Can Be Tasty class. Her name was Nally, wonderful woman. She told us about Julia, who does passionate pundits with Deb. And she also is a holistic chiropractor. I'm always interested in everything holistic. So when I heard that she was a holistic chiropractor right here in Bay City, I had to check this out too. So I made an appointment with Julia. I came to see her. On my second visit, she was getting ready to go to her show at Deb's. And she mentioned it at the end of our session. She said, I got to go do my internet radio show. And so I had heard this about internet radio show twice now. And I said, where is that? She said, Deb for W for Divas. I go, oh my goodness, I've been trying to meet her. Our schedules just haven't meshed, but I've been looking so forward to meeting her, but it hasn't happened yet. So she goes, what are you doing right now? I'm like, nothing. I had my appointment. I had something planned, but when the universe steps in your way and offers you something that you can just feel is right, just go with it. Trust me. And so I trusted my gut and my heart and my instinct. And I said, okay, I'll go. She said, well, come and I'll introduce you to Deb. I came to the show. She introduced me. They had to start right away, so I didn't talk to Deb until after the show. But then Deb said for the days leading up to that, she had been asking the universe how she was going to contact me again. She'd been asking for me, and I walked right through her door. So
it was amazing. When she said that's who it was, I went,
yeah.
Because we kept trying to meet, and it just didn't work out. And the last time, I was so stressed out, and I was supposed to come down there and meet you. And I had so much stuff on my plate that I wouldn't have been able to relax. I wouldn't have been able to stay there. And I called and apologized to you, but it embarrassed me. And so I was trying to think, now she's going to think I'm dingy. So, and so I have to think of a way to, and I knew that it would happen, but I have to decide what to say. And so for 3 days, I had been thinking that, wanting to call you, and there you walked in, and that day, my subject on Julia's show, The Passionate Pundits, was manifestation.
Yep, and law of attraction.
And law of attraction.
I was blown away because this was my first introduction to you and what you did. So that topic was just amazingly perfect. Because I too am a huge fan of manifestation and law of attraction, and I said, oh my goodness, this is totally for me. If this is the kind of stuff they talk about here, this is where I want to be. So it was really, really beautiful how it all came together. And then the radio show, Love Your Transformation, was inspired from that. And you just follow the yellow brick road almost.
Right. And you know what? if we would have planned that and fit that day into our schedules, we would have maybe been able to squeeze out an hour.
Oh my goodness!
And how long were you here?
I was here for like 4 hours talking to them after.
And there was nothing else. Everything else waited. It was really. We couldn't have planned that.
No, we couldn't.
No way.
We couldn't have planned that.
No,
it was just fell into place perfectly, and that's how I came to be here. And I'm very honored to be part of the network, and I'm so glad that Deb has started something like this because it's really needed in our community, as well as every community. It's a nice support to have things that are positive,
right?
That are uplifting, that are inspirational and motivational, not just like the news.
right Although we do have the news on, and sometimes I think maybe we shouldn't, but it makes us look like a legitimate station. So someday I hope to find like right now it's Reuters, and someday there'll be a good news station that I'll be able to download.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That's true.
But right now there isn't. I keep looking. Someday there will be. Maybe that's what we should start.
Because good news is, they have it, but maybe 1 minute out of the whole hour.
Right.
The regular news, I would say, would be geared towards something positive.
Right, and I don't watch the news, do you?
No, I don't. I just don't find it beneficial.
I don't either.
Definitely doesn't raise my vibration. I'm all about raising my vibration.
And, people that start out in the morning watching the news, I really don't condone that. It's...
No, I bet probably by mid-morning they feel down and they don't know why.
Right. Or they leave the house feeling, oh my God, there's war here and there's so-and-so got killed and this kid came back from poisoned and blah, blah, blah. It's no way to start your day. So, and that was another thing that you and I talked about. To me, this is success. When you find a kindred spirit, like that day that we talked for 4 hours. Yeah. I mean, we're friends now, whether you like it or not.
Oh, we are.
And, The other thing, the Abraham Hicks. Now, a lot of people don't know who that is, and it's kind of irrelevant, but it's very uplifting and positive and very into